Hello again, this is Bishop Doherty of the Diocese of Lafayette-in-Indiana. The theme of this little video is to try to describe why it takes so long for a man to become a priest, what's involved in his training. And of course, the ultimate goal always is to develop a man in holiness and help him understand what that is so that he can help lead and transmit that holiness to other people, not just in the sacraments, but also through his very person. Recently, that is over the last few years, the Vatican has approved a new program for priestly formation, which the American version of this was just approved of and published in this year, 2022. It's changed quite a bit. The basic structure in the old days when I went through happened because we were all raised in Catholic families and we already knew about the sacraments, our theology, and some of the church discipline. Today, young people don't necessarily have all of this. And so it takes extra time, and right now an extra year called a propedeutic year to lead a man into an understanding of how to pray and who to be. Another difference these days is that so many people develop a great interest in the sciences and STEM education at the expense of liberal education, and where they would understand something about culture and philosophy. And so it takes a longer time to help people understand that a Catholic way of thinking is indeed a certain way of thinking, or as some Catholics would proudly say, how to think. There are two parts to the theology I went through. One was called philosophy. Philosophy has a lot of personal training and formation, but it also is, in my words, the software of how to interpret the theology of the church and the history. In other words, there's a certain way of looking at a human being. Central to that is a thing we call Christian anthropology. Human beings exist in society, in a system, and in a culture that's highly individualized. This requires some discipline to get used to thinking and talking in that way. Then there's the period of studying theology, which is a combination of studying, some of the great ways to describe our relationship with God, but also to study the mistakes that have been made along the way historically. People have fallen off the track. Huge movements of people have fallen off the track. And it's also a time to reflect on why are there different religions, why are there different theologies, and where do we fit in that? So that's a basic description. Now, the way I came through is different with the latest PPF. The principles for the new PPF are either in these, I think about 18 bulletins, one-page bulletins that came out, or there's a whole other book. We haven't had it bound yet, but all the bishops went through all of this, many pages to describe how a priest is formed. And so there is a program, and there are benchmarks that a man needs to hit along the way. A lot of it is book learning. There's more and more today of what we call human formation and on-site ministry in parishes. Those things require time. And so where a man might have been able to go through school in 4 years previously, now it's going to be at least 5. And if you start in college, it'll be 8 years and maybe a little more. I'm of an age now where those few years of investment are nothing compared to the over 45 years of ministry I've already had. So I would think it was a good investment of my time, the church's time, and your time. God bless you.